You're in the mix.
SKM presents Strictly for the Music Podcast. You are now live with the #1 podcast for all upcoming artists worldwide.
It's the real deal.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode. This is Strictly for the Music Podcast. I'm your host, DJ SKN. The next guest I got live and direct finds herself writing and demoing songs for her second album, her first record, Country True, nomination for Music NL Country Artist of the Year, and had major chart success, including going #1 on She Wolf Radio. Ladies and gentlemen, with no word further ado, let me introduce our guest, Abigale.
Hi, thanks so much for having me.
Welcome, and I appreciate you coming on the podcast. You have a lot of success during your time. So how long have you been doing music?
Well, I really started singing when I was 6 years old. I participated in the Kiwanis Music Festival around in my area, but I really started songwriting when I was about 11 or 12 years old, and I started co-writing songs with Zach Warner for my first album, Country True, and I was really surprised and grateful for the attention that was brought. And now I'm really excited because I've just written my latest single, Round the Bay. And yeah, I'm really excited.
Okay, all right. So tell us a little bit of Country True.
So Country True is actually the name of my first album, but it's also the kind of the title track off it as well. So the story behind the song Country True is actually about a granddaughter and a grandfather and the relationship kind of that they share. And, you know, as the grandfather gets older, he gets Alzheimer's. And even though he can't remember the words or how his favorite country songs go, his granddaughter helps him. And I think they both share their love of country music through the song.
Okay, all right. So let me ask you this. So was Country True your debut album?
Yeah.
Okay, so were you doing anything else besides before this album you dropped? Were you doing concerts or talent shows or anything of that sort?
Yeah, you know, I participated in some competitions here and there around my area. I participated in Newfoundland's Newfound Talent Contest, which I placed first in, which was really exciting. I participated in both Sing and L's, and actually there was 3 of those, and I placed twice, which I was really grateful for. And I always singing in the Kiwanis Music Festivals when I was younger was always a big thing as well. So yeah, I definitely did my share, you know, with coffee houses and stuff. I'm really grateful for all the opportunities I've got to perform and to sing.
Okay, so what was it like performing or singing for the first time in front of a crowd?
Oh man, I was probably 6 years old when I first performed, and I sang a Newfoundland folk song. And man, just being up on a big stage in front of, you know, at that time, I think there was about 500 people, and I loved it. I just thought, you know, the energy you get from performing with that many people, it's very exciting. And, you know, every time I get to perform or any chance I get to perform, I always enjoy it. And yeah, it's my favorite thing to do, definitely.
Okay, all right. So what was it like growing up? What is the history of your upbringing?
Well, I always sang with coffee houses and stuff. I think the old country music definitely in my area was always big. We always had, you know, we always listened to the Carter Family and Johnny Cash and Hank Williams and George Jones. And I think that music in my area really shaped me, and it's the music that I love and I love to sing today. So I think, you know, growing up in a small town in Newfoundland, Canada, it's really, I think, and definitely the Newfoundland music as well, definitely shaped who I am as a singer and as a person.
Okay, all right, perfect. So how are you different from other artists or musicians?
I would say, you know, I kind of put my own flavor into it in my singing and in my songwriting, and I kind of put a bit of everything, you know. I have some folk and some country and pop and just all these different mixes of different genres. I think that's something important to me, where I love all different types of musics. I definitely try to incorporate a little bit of everything, even though I stick to my country roots, and that's a big part of who I am. I try to incorporate like little bits and pieces here and there.
All right. Okay. So tell us a little bit about One of a Kind.
Well, One of a Kind is definitely a special song to me. It's just, it's all about being yourself and not being afraid of who you are, It's it's all about being, not trying to fit in this, cookie cutter mold, but just trying to be true to yourself.
Okay. All right. Um, Next song, Girlfriend.
Yeah, this is definitely a fun one. We recorded the music video to this back in February of last year, and it was so much fun. This song is kind of spunky and more on the country pop lines. So, we had some lion dancing in it and some spunk and attitude, and it's definitely one for, I think it really connects to like teenagers and people of that genre, even though everybody can listen to it. I just find it so fun to, especially to perform, but it's very spunky. That's the word that I would use to describe it.
All right. All right. Amazing. So after Girlfriend is Back Home.
Yeah, well, this was actually the first one written that I co-wrote with Zach Warner. um this is the first one we wrote for my debut album, Country True. And I think what we really wanted to incorporate in this one was, no matter where you are and no matter what you're doing, you're always trying to find yourself, right? So I think, trying to incorporate these different things in that song, like Peter Pan and Superman, it's like, what if they stopped one day and were just like, huh, maybe I do want to grow up. Maybe, all this might be for nothing, but it's always trying coming back and, finding yourself and who you are and finding your way back home.
Okay. All right. So does Zach Warner have a lot to do with this debut album?
Yeah, well, I co-wrote all these songs with Zach Warner, and he's my manager. So Zach is definitely, he's been there and helped me a lot through this process, and definitely in my life. I met Zach when I was, oh man, I must have been 11 or 12 years old, and I'm 16 now, and he's been in my life ever since. And I truly don't believe I'd be the musician today if it wasn't for him.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay. So let's go to the next track. Life is Short.
Yeah, I think this cuts into more ties with um life is short. I think it's pretty straightforward with that one. It's kind of, don't take, if you're having a fight with someone, try not to argue over the petty things, or because in an instant it could all be gone. Life's too short to be worrying about petty things, and it could be taken away from you at any moment. And I think we should really cherish those, even the small details, right? It really just is, life is too short.
Okay. Awesome. All right. So track number 6, Boys and Girls.
Yeah, this is another fun one. It talks about the different uh love and hate relationships between boys and girls, and the different things that happens when they're growing up. And one of the lines from the song, it's just the thing about boys and girls. Like, it's just, that's what happens.
All right. Last track on the debut album, Wayfaring Stranger.
Yeah, so this is actually the only cover I did on this album, and it's actually an old country folk tune. And it I sang this song for a competition when I was younger, and I just connected so much with it. It's so hauntingly beautiful that I just needed to incorporate it on the album, and it's one of my favorite covers that I've ever performed.
All right. Okay. So leading to your music videos, let's talk about Country True. Who filmed it, and is this on YouTube, Facebook, or where can they find it?
Yeah, well, I'm on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, but you can find the Country True music video on Facebook or YouTube if you just search up Abigale Country True. Christian Davis recorded it, and we recorded it at multiple locations in St. John's, Newfoundland, and it was super fun to film. Like, I remember I think we recorded it in, it was either September or sometime in the fall or sometimes in the summer. And yeah, it was the first music video I had ever done, and especially one to my own song. It was just a surreal experience, and I had so much fun doing it when I got to, dress up in a Patsy Cline sort of dress, and I had so much fun.
Great. So, was this album debuted this year or last year?
Last year, it came out the June of last year.
All right. So can we expect any other music videos besides Country True?
Yeah, well, I actually released the Girl from Music video last February. And yeah, that was another fun one to film. I got to, dance around in a bedroom that we got from my cousin, actually. So I got to, dance around, pretend to sing into a hairbrush. And I actually got to throw a phone out a window for that one. So it was definitely new territory, but it was just so much fun to film.
That's awesome. Okay. All right. So, do you have any other music videos you're going to release this year, or what are you working on?
Ooh, well, I have I have a couple stuff in the works, but nothing's really finalized yet. I just released my latest single, Round the Bay, which I released a lyric video to that one. But, everything's up in the air right now with um with the whole pandemic thing. It's really hard for us artists to get our stuff out there, and especially recording music videos. It's something that I personally love to do, so I definitely hope I get to record and release some more this year.
All right. Awesome. That's awesome. Okay. So let me ask you this. Can we expect you to perform any live performances, maybe on YouTube Live, Facebook Live, any live
Oh,
platform?
yeah, definitely. I'm expecting to post actually a couple Tragically Hip covers very soon, so that's very exciting. You can probably catch that on my Facebook or Instagram, and it's just at Abigale Music or at Abigale Official. And yeah, but other than that, I've been on Facebook Live a couple times, which was super duper fun. And yeah, I'll definitely be posting a lot more covers where I can't perform as much, but I do have a couple gigs coming up. I have one at the Dildo Brewery here in Newfoundland around the 14th, and another one coming up real close too, which I'm really excited for.
Right. Awesome. All right. So, do you have a favorite moment while you were performing?
Oh man, I love it all. From the moment my feet hit the stage and I plug my guitar in and I strum that first chord and I say, "Hello everybody, how you doing?" It's just everything about it from when I start on the stage to when I leave. It's my favorite thing to do. It really is.
Okay. So let me ask you this: is this going to be your first time performing your songs off your album?
Not off the first one, but it'll definitely be one of the first times I've performed Round the Bay, which is my latest single.
Okay. All right. So, do you have any future collaborations, or do you have any favorite collaborations?
Oh man, there's definitely so many people that I'd love to work with and definitely sing songs or like collaborate, but nothing's really set in stone now, especially it's hard with but you know what, virtually I'd be open to anything. I'd love to work with other people, and especially artists in Newfoundland and artists in other parts of Canada and around the world. I would love to be a part of that.
Okay. So, if you could collaborate with any band or musician, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
Oh my gosh, dead or alive, Hank Williams, hands down. He's just, I can listen to any of his songs. He's my favorite artist, definitely.
Awesome. Okay. So, who is your music targeted toward?
I'd say my music is targeted towards everybody, really. I try to incorporate as much things as I can to cover everyone's, feelings or things they're interested in. So, I kind of, I'm only 16 years old, so I don't have that much life experience, but I definitely try to touch on things that everyone can relate to, whether it's, being yourself or having a crush on someone or even losing a loved one. I try to touch on everything for everyone.
Favorite lyrics in a song?
Oh, man, that's a tough one. Favorite lyric in a song? Um, I might have to say, is this like, can I use my own lyric?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. I might have to go with, you know, I'm just one of a kind. I think that's a line that everyone can take and make it their own. And I think that's just such an important message that we should all take. Nobody's perfect. Nobody is like anybody else. And I think that's what makes us unique. So I think, one of a kind. It's just, we can all be our own one of a kind.
What are your music guilty pleasures? Like, for instance, mumble rap.
Oh, I don't know. Like, um, I do like rap, believe it or not. I always listen. I try to um have a range of music genres that I listen to. Like if you hit shuffle on my playlist, you could hear rap to country to pop to techno. Like it's everything.
Okay. All right. Perfect. So let me ask you this. Could we expect you to go out of your genre and explore another?
Ooh, I don't know. I'm really, um, I'm really comfortable in the genre that I am now. And not to say that I won't change or that I might never change, but it's just there's something about the old country that calls to my heart. And at any moment it might change, but right now I'm sticking to that and I that's what makes me happy and I'll be doing it as long as it makes me happy.
All right. Okay. So, if you weren't doing music, what would you be doing?
Ooh, I'm in a lot of stuff. I'm really busy. I keep busy with my music, whether I'm songwriting or singing, and I play different instruments, whether I'm picking at the mandolin or guitar, piano. But other than that, I play a lot of sports. Our school's not very big. There's less than 100 kids from K to 12. So I play a lot of sports on our teams, and I think I keep my life is pretty well rounded with music and sports and hanging out with friends. So I think I keep a good balance between everything.
Okay. All right. So, did you play all the instruments on your album?
I didn't. I actually had some very talented musicians come in on my first album. Most of the work was done by Greg Tobin and Zach Warner. They played a lot of the instruments, and there's a few other um, musicians that Carol Bestvater is one of them. And I'm just so grateful for all of them to have come in and recorded on my album because it just brought it to life.
Awesome. All right. Okay. So let me ask you this. What are your goals in 2021?
I think my goals in 2021 are to, reach as many new people as possible. I'm always trying to, every gig I go to, it's always like it's that one extra person that gets to see you perform. It's that one, as long as one new person sees you, it's like that's the best feeling. So I'm hoping for 2021 is to get my music out there and to reach as many people as possible.
All right. Okay. So, let me ask you this. Best advice you've been given.
Sorry, what was that? You broke up a bit. I'm on my cell phone. Sorry.
Okay, you're right. What is the best advice you have been given?
Oh man, I think one that just sparks to mind is one time when I met Tim Hicks. He um I met him sometime last year, and he told me that music's a muscle, and you have to keep working it and working it to get better and better. And I just take that day by day, and I always use that to it's always in the back of my mind that I have to keep working at it and working at it, and in order to get better at my music I have to keep working at it. So I think that that's a piece of advice that I've definitely used a lot, and I've definitely benefited from.
All right. Okay. So, would you use Tim Hayes' advice to any other upcoming musician or band in your local area?
Yes, definitely. Tim Hicks is such an amazing singer. Like, he's phenomenal. He's a Canadian country singer, and he's just phenomenal. But definitely, um, just keep at it. And even though it might not be right away, eventually, if you keep working and working at it, I think you'll get everything you want.
Okay. All right. So, tell us the story behind getting the nomination for Artist of the Year.
Well, I was actually at school when I found out. It must have been like fourth period or something, and my name came over the intercom. So they called me down to the office, and my principal was like, they want you on the phone in my office. So he allowed me to go in and sit in his office, and I was on the phone with Zach Warner, my manager, and my mom. And they were like, you just got nominated for Country Artist of the Year for the Music NL Awards. And I was kind of freaking out for a minute. And my principal was just outside the door, and he was listening in, and he was like, he was wondering why I was freaking out so much. So I came out and I told everybody, and I just thought it was hilarious how, just out of nowhere, wasn't expecting anything. And, I was and even going to the awards was just a great experience. I was really thankful for it.
Okay. So right after being nominated for Artist of the Year, um, was this with Country True?
Yeah, this was with my debut album, Country True. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So this song hit number one on She Wolf Radio. Elaborate on that.
Yeah, it did. Well, I was working my way up through the charts that whole time with Country True. And, with all the support they gave me, I was so grateful when I finally reached number one. And it was so crazy. I was just waiting and waiting. I'm like, maybe I'll get it. Maybe I'll get it. And I did. And I was really thankful for the experience and all the exposure I got through it.
That's amazing. Okay. So was this overwhelming for you?
I don't know if it was so much overwhelming, but I was definitely excited. Um, yeah, it was just it was a blessing, and I was really thankful for it.
All right. So how is your music going to evolve from here?
I think I wrote this album Country True when I was 11 or 12, around there, and I started writing a second album when I was 16. So I think as a songwriter, my lyric wise and melody wise and my songwriting altogether has just grown. So I think I've definitely grown into a more mature songwriter, and I think that'll definitely show in this next upcoming album.
All right. Do you have a release date on that?
I don't. Nothing's really set in stone, but I'm really looking forward to it when it does.
Okay. So do you have any special shout outs you want to give?
I'd like to shout out to Zach Warner. He's up in Toronto right now. And yeah, I'd like to say hi to my sister and my mom and my dad and my nan and my pops. We're from a small town in Newfoundland, so it'll really mean a lot.
All right. Okay, so go ahead and plug in all your social media outlets and your website and everything you got going on right now.
Yeah, well, I got some upcoming gigs. I got one at the Dildo Brewery at Valentine's Day, actually, February 14th, if you want to come out and check that out. I've got on my social medias, my Twitter is at Abigale Music, and I think so is my Facebook. But if you just look up Abigale, it'll come up. And my Instagram is abigale.official. And my website to find all my social medias and all upcoming dates and my album and everything, just go to www.abigaleofficial.com.
All right, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Abigale, this is Strictly for the Music podcast.